May not be everything we like, but it's a lot better. I mean, to do that with China and some of the other Asian nations in particular, advance our training in this. We need to protect our religious liberty. He asked me, there was a big meeting at the White House with a lot of the top groups that defended religious liberty. They were very concerned about trends where you weren't even allowed to speak biblical values in public without being hammered. Preachers felt that they were going to be constricted to what they said in their church based on their beliefs. So the agreement was, they decided they would ask us, the Department, to write a new policy for the federal government. And we did that. We worked with people like Alliance Defending Freedom and many of the other pro-religious groups that were very happy with what we produced. So President Trump delivered. He also said he was going to appoint judges that respect men and women of faith, that followed the Constitution and not violate it. We at the department were able to help identify good judicial candidates, do background checks on them for integrity and other skill and philosophy. The president has just been nominated the greatest group of federal judges. It's going to amount of the next 30 years. We're going to feel the impact. And if Hillary Clinton had appointed the kind of judges she would have appointed, we would have lost the courts. 2 Supreme Court seats, and, maybe another one or 2 down the road. This is so good. So I feel like the president is on the road to re-election. I have not changed one bit in what I was advocating before he ran. That's the reason I endorsed him. I was the first senator to endorse him. I haven't changed one bit about what we need to do, and haven't changed one bit about there's one leader that's making this happen. Nobody would have changed taking on Africa. President Trump, and he got it done. People had kind of buried it in the last few days. That was a huge thing. I think we're on the right track. It's my prayer, my belief, and my hope that I know where we are. I know we've got to get our Senate moving and be more supportive of the president. We've got to fix the immigration. We've got to be more careful about foreign policy. We've got to finish the deal with trade to protect our American industries. And I think we'll continue to have the progress that we've been seeing recently. I feel good where we are. If you allow me and the Lord allows me to serve, I won't go wobbling on it. I'll continue to advance those agenda items that I pretty much were alone on. Wasn't many other people supported. I was the only one basically that fought against the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the Pacific Trade Deal. And I was really probably the first one in the Republican conference beginning to discuss openly we need to be more careful about where we put our troops. Take the Syria thing. Do you remember how Syria got started? Everybody thinks we're fighting in Syria against ISIS and the terrorists, but there were no ISIS and terrorists in Syria. When it started, there was a group that said they were democratic forces, and President Obama decided to help them. And they got Assad on the defensive, and his armies fell back. Then ISIS came in. There wasn't any ISIS in Syria until Assad was on the defensive because he didn't let them come in. He didn't like them either. Christians were a part of his coalition. He was a dictator, no doubt about it. But it was a stable country. So after this happened, 500,000 Syrians died. 5 million displaced persons, pouring into Europe and pouring into Jordan and into Turkey and neighboring regions. And all this instability. ISIS came in. Now we have to kill the ISIS people. The president succeeded in getting that done. And now I guess we just have to Assad will take back over the country. Nobody's even talking about not having Assad leave the country. Russians in there more than they were. So you gotta be smart about this. You cannot just react